I appreciate everybody viewing the videos, listening to the music. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Like the video, comment, add me, follow me everywhere on other music platforms like Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes. I'm gonna be releasing music all year long. This year, 2024, was a crazy year. I'm trying to repeat the same thing for next year. More music videos, more performance videos, hopefully some like real legit live performances, but I'm currently working on that. Subscribe, like the video, and enjoy. Welcome back to the channel. You already know, Norris got another album reaction video. So today we're gonna do the new album by BigxthaPlug, Take Care. This is a new album he released earlier this year around October. Just like every other episode, same format. I'm gonna take 4 songs out of the album, play a snippet of each song, then I'm gonna start talking about the album, giving you guys a full critique, and also I got a rating at the end of the video. Before we start with this episode here, the new song Rare Lobster, that's dropping for the 24th of December, which is a couple of days from now, 12 o'clock a.m. around the dot. Check out that track. Available everywhere where I post my music: SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, also my YouTube channel, Cafe Fiend. That's the most recent song that I have out. All of the same platforms. Lots of content for the future. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. New album reaction, BigxthaPlug, Take Care, a newer artist in the game right now. I'm gonna play 4 songs off the album, just a snippet of each. So the first song I'm gonna play, this one's called Planting Seeds. This one's called 2 a.m. This one's called Leave Me Alone. The last track I'll play, this one's called The Largest. New album reaction, BigxthaPlug, Take Care. So this is another Texas rapper. It sounds very similar to that Mexican OT. They're from the same area. Their sound is sort of similar. Their beats sound very similar. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Moneybagg Yo and also UGK. There's influence from their sound. You can definitely hear that. You can think of maybe Moneybagg Yo, Bun B, and that Mexican OT put together. He has all of those rappers' sounds all in one. The beat selection reminds me of that Mexican OT. It's got to be the same producer that Mexican OT uses, because the beats sound very similar to beats that OT would rap on. That's like one of the first things I've noticed about this album here. I mean, at least with the serious tone songs on this album, they have a lot to do with his success over the years, where he started from, where he ended up. Talks a lot about his kids, his family, people who are with him during his road to success, sort of talking about that throughout the album. He's sort of given his real perspective on like how his life's been going ever since he's been signed and started his rap career to the release of this album. So there's a handful of songs on here that are like that I enjoyed. Just cool to see his serious point of view about like how his life is going outside of just party anthem songs, because honestly, before listening to the album, that's what I expected most of the songs to be. Party anthems that you can play at the club, and he's not really talking about anything but just maybe like money and cars and the typical thing most like pop rappers would rap about just to sell the record. It's like a blend between serious songs and club banger songs. So he's trying to appeal to both sides with his music. It's like half club bangers and then the other half is just him like rapping, sort of just talking, sharing his thoughts and being real with the listener. So that's one thing that I've noticed about the album, and it's 50-50. It's not like there's more serious songs than like party anthems. It's like a fair 50-50 split between the two styles. The production is the highlight of the album. A lot of the beats sound like something that Mexican OT would rap on, or even Moneybagg Yo. They have that same like drum pattern that you would hear in a lot of those type of tracks. That's like most of the production on this album, and it's mixed with samples that you would hear from like way back in the day, and they're all like hit songs that the producer is sampling. When you're listening to the songs and you hear the sample that's in the beat, you immediately like remember where that song comes from. There's a lot of tracks like that on this album where the producer is sampling a song that's like very familiar and very popular amongst like others. So rather than trying to find a sample from a song that no one's ever heard of before, it's like the complete opposite of that. Even with the Law and Order song that he has on this album, the producer sampled Law and Order music in order to produce the track. You can hear the Law and Order theme music, the intro music. That's basically what I mean. Like a lot of the sampled beats on here sounds like the producer sampled a hit song that everyone's like familiar of. You automatically get where the sample comes from just because of how popular the song is that the producer is like taken from and sampling. I thought that was a highlight. Like it gives you memories sort of in a way. When you're listening to those type of beats, you hear the song in the beat and then it reminds you of the times when that song was released back in the day. And the drums are crisp on here, man. I think the drums might be the actual highlight of the production. The drum work on here is crazy. It reminds me of some like UGK, Moneybagg Yo, that Mexican OT, just something that those rappers would rap on with a mix of like just random classical hits the producer's taking and sampling, applying to the beats on here. So like I was saying earlier in the video, there's a lot of serious moments on this album and there's also a lot of club bangers, everybody party type of moments on the album. It's almost like a 50-50 split between the two styles. He sort of raps the same way on every track, so when you're going through the album, every flow sort of sounds the same. Like the formula setup that he applies to his like songwriting, it makes every track sound the same when you listen to him rap. Now the only thing with that, he is a Texas rapper, and a lot of rappers from that area, they'll rap the same way on every track, and it's like the theme of the song is what changes, but the way they're flowing is the same almost every time. A lot of like Southern rappers like to do that. One thing I've noticed over the years, Southern rappers, they tend to like rap with the same exact flow on every single track, no matter what beat they're rapping on. Sometimes it'll make it sound like they're giving you the same song over and over again because they do that. With BigxthaPlug, he doesn't really have the ability to make every song sound different, even though he's using the same flow. Because he's using the same flow, the same like formula setup on every track, it makes every song sort of sound the same. Understanding what the track represents and looking at the name of the track, listening to the beat too, will separate each track from the other. That's how you know like every track is different. His signature natural like flow is proper though. If anything, that's what he should be doing. He should always just use his natural flow because it's the seller. It's what's making him famous and pushing him up the charts and all of that, pushing up his clout and all of that. People really enjoy his natural flow. Maybe it's what he started with from his hometown. All of his like people were telling him to stick with the same flow. It's just what he's used to using. Like I said, he is from Texas. He's a Southern rapper. Most rappers from the South like to use their natural on every beat, no matter what beat they're getting. You know, that's just how they rap. But at the same time, for me, with this album, it makes every song sort of sound, it sounds like it's the same formula setup on every track. So like every song, it starts off the same way and then it ends the same way. The middle part's the same. He doesn't have like a lot of hooks in his songs. Most of the time he's just like rapping right when the beat comes in, so there's not a lot of song structure. It's really just the beat and him rapping. His natural flow is like dope though. It works perfectly with the beats that he's getting on here. It's definitely the flow that he should be sticking to and he should be using on most songs, but it just like it makes the album sound just a little bit boring, a little bit monotone. Even though he's not a monotone rapper, it makes the album sound monotone because then like every setup's the same, so then it sounds like every track's the same. It's the name of the songs, how the beat's constructed, that makes every song like separate from each other. So I mean, I guess it's closer to like a negative thing than a positive thing. It works with his flow. Like his natural flow sounds proper, so it works out. Overall, dope album. There isn't a lot of bad things I can say about it. It's definitely closer to like the good side than the bad side, in my opinion. I just think too many songs sound the same because of his flow. What he's talking about is different. I'll give him credit with that one. When he raps the same way like that, it makes every song sound the same. Like it's kind of like Gunna. It's like a perfect example. Because of his like quick syllable flow you would hear from like the Migos, even though every beat is different, because he's flowing that same way on every track, it's gonna make every track sound like you're listening to the same song. And BigxthaPlug, he sort of does that on this album. When you're listening to his actual lyrics though, and his actual like songwriting, everything he's saying in his like punchlines, the album's actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying a lot of like real stuff, talks a lot about his family, how gives him the strength to like become successful. He has kids. I think he's like talking about his like daughters throughout the album, and just giving the real perspective on like his own life, the positives, the negatives that comes with it. Even with the track Leave Me Alone, where he's talking about how he's become super successful, and a lot of people who maybe knew him during his come up, even before his come up, they would like maybe not believe in him. You're gonna like fail like the rest of them, and then he becomes successful, and then now they're all asking him for like money and all of this stuff. That's basically what he's talking about on that song. There's a lot of songs like that on the album that make you think a little bit. They sort of change your perspective on certain things. It makes him seem like a more serious rapper than before, because a lot of the songs that he would release were club bangers, were songs that you can play on the radio, a lot of party anthems. Listening to this album, you get to hear the more serious songs outside of the songs that he would make videos for and post, and it gives you like a different perspective on like the type of rapper he is and what he actually represents. Listening to the more serious songs make him sound a lot smarter than he appeared to be before listening to the album. He seems like a lot smarter of a rapper before listening to this album. After saying all of that, in terms of a rating, I'm giving this one a 7.8 out of 10. Every song kind of sounds the same. That's the biggest reason why it's not past an 8, but at the same time, he does display a high level of songwriting, understanding how to like take all of his like emotions and thoughts, put them into like a verse. He's really good at that, you know what I mean? He has that skill down for sure. His flowing skills, his beat selection is pretty crazy too. He definitely has everything you need in order to become like a successful rapper in today's game, and he displays that on this album. With that, definitely above a 7.5. 7.8 out of 10. BigxthaPlug, new album, Take Care. Let me know what you guys think about this album. Let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, definitely. I got more episodes of this coming up in the future. Plenty more music also. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Listen to Rare Lobster, set for December 24th, 12 o'clock a.m. right on the dot. I got more music dropping for next year, starting January 4th. I'll let you guys know about that track after Rare Lobster. Then I'll start talking about January 4th release. I really appreciate you guys watching today's episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and that's all I got to say for this one. I'm out of here.